16 December 2023, and today I'm going to be giving you the latest updates in the news, what is happening in Zimbabwe, and this is in terms of the latest news that we're going to be watching this weekend and going into Monday and Tuesday. These are critical days. What is going to happen by Monday is going to be very, very big. It's not going to be a small thing. We're looking at the most critical developments happening within the next 48 hours. And this will shape Zimbabwe's politics forever. What is going to happen in these 48 hours? You must watch it very, very carefully. It's not something to play with. And I always tell guys that we're in a period when history is being made. And specifically, on Monday, there's going to be nomination. Nomination has already started. It doesn't start on Monday. It's just that our guys in CCC, they delay. So nomination has already started. If you look at the ZEC Facebook page, by now, people should have started nominating their candidates for the by-elections, because it's clear that the people who are MPs, they don't want to leave those positions. So Chamisa might just as well put his people. This is the fact. People don't want to leave the MP positions. They're too comfortable there. So Chamisa is going to be under pressure to have his own people inside the Parliament of Zimbabwe, because the CCC has been taken, and unfortunately, the guys that are out, they're crying to Chamisa to say, we need to be in Parliament, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens there. But the top stories that I'm looking at today, a Zimbabwean man has started a new country, and this is very significant, and I'm going to be following this very, very closely. We'll see how we can talk to him. If you go into the Newsday newspaper, there is a Zimbabwean man there called Webiston Jokonya. He's a PhD, and he's done something very, very interesting. He has started a new country called URD, the United Republic of Delvin, and it's now a registered country. So this country is formally registered. This is totally legal. You can do this. You can start a country, and this country is got certain resources. It's in the middle of the ocean, so it's got certain resources, and that he wants to utilize. So let me first of all remove from my thing there. Right, she was in the studio last night. You should go and watch what you're saying there. So it's totally legal to start a country. He has started the country. Currently, there are 36 citizens of this country, and I think this presents a lot of opportunities given our current situation in Zimbabwe. So I'm going to find him, the new owner of the country called URD, United Republic of Delvin, which has got 36 registered citizens. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, given what we are experiencing in Zimbabwe. We need to look at the opportunities here, and I will let you guys know what I think we should do with this a new development. So if anyone knows this guy's number, give it to me. Zimbabwe has started a country, and let me show you where this country is. It was a previously uninhabited country. So you can, if you find a little piece of land that is not habited, you can start your own country. And this country is called URD, as I said. It was originally called Howland Island. So if you look on the map, that is that little spot there, here on the center, that is with the red. It's in the middle of the, I think it's the Pacific Ocean. So let me see what the guys at, right, it's located north of the equator in the central Pacific Ocean, about 1,700 nautical miles southwest of Honolulu. It was unclaimed and uninhabited until 2023, when it was declared a country or sovereign state by Jokonya. So Jokonya, 45, was born and raised in Gurungwe under Chief Kazangarare, about 70 kilometers north of Karoi. In his declaration speech, Jokonya, as the first prime minister of URD, said his dream has come to reality adding that investors will welcome into the new nation. So, as I said to you, this is very significant. They've got an international seaport called Port Howland, located on the southeast pole, and one biggest city called Nashville City, where the international airport of Amelia International Airport is located. So this is quite interesting, and it's not a joke. It's a very serious thing. And as I said, given our current situation in Zimbabwe, we now need to see if we can find Jokonya and have a chat with him and see what other opportunities we can bring about. The current situation in Zimbabwe is very, very bad. The guys who are running Zimbabwe, ED, their problem is no one is making money under ED's government. ED does not understand what the impact of the things that is doing to the economy. Recalling CC MPs, the abductions, rigged elections, poor international image. So ED does not get it. So Zimbabweans now have to look at other alternatives. And these are some of the things that I think people should start exploring. Then other news is Mutui Ngube is considering reversing the announcement that he made. He increased the passport fees and he increased the toll gates. So that is being reversed because it's totally irrational. And then Wange, the situation at Wange is very, very bad. Zimbabwe is going to lose Wange to the Chinese because they're failing to pay. So they failed to pay for that, the debt that they've got to China. I think it's about 5 billion that they owe China. And they failed to pay whatever amount they were supposed to pay. They were also owing suppliers, I think almost 500 million or something like that, or 200 million. And now they are owing about 50 million. I don't know how they managed to pay the rest of the money. So these are the key stories that we have for today. A new country formed by Zimbabwean URD, and we're going to be chasing that. So if you know Jokonya's number, give it to me. Let's have a chat with him. There's a lot of things that we can do with this kind of development. It's not easy to come up with these ideas, and I think Zimbabweans are just in a place where they can now consider anything. So that is in the Newsday newspaper. You can go and have a look at it. This guy is an academic, Webiston Jokonya, and the country was started on 5 September. So we're getting to know about it now because obviously it's something that has happened. Now let's look at the comments. I want to see some interesting comments here before I wrap up. And as I said, tomorrow we've got a very key development. On Monday, it's D-Day for Chamisa. We want to see if Chamisa is going to appear. If Chamisa does not appear, it's going to be a very, very big problem. Now let's look at Edwin saying that let me explain to you guys what we need to do. We need to take this situation into our hands, and we can do it. And we need to start. 2024 is a very, very big year. We cannot continue the way we've been doing. We have to do something. Then no CCMP will pull out. Yes, no, you're correct. No one is pulling out. Everyone wants to be an MP. And our problem is that most of our guys are lawyers. So if you're a lawyer, your promotion is to become a legislator. That is, so if you're a banker, you want to become Reserve Bank of Governor. If you're a lawyer, you want to become an MP or a senator or a councillor. So once someone gets in, for them to get out, they have to be removed. There's so many lawyers in Zimbabwe, and all they want is to be MP. And then Manyon is saying it's better to go there. Please don't laugh. This is a serious thing. If this guy starts issuing passports, citizenship, and managing this country properly, you Zimbabweans will end up staying in URD. Because if an ED continue this way, you don't know what is going to be the end. This is crazy. What is happening in Zimbabwe is very crazy. There is no place where no one even cares about the economy, like the way the Zimbabwean guys are. They don't care what's happening. They just collapse everything. And then my China are going to take Zimbabwe, right? The Chinese have given money for the construction of Wange. They've also given money. I think they're involved in the construction of Kariba. And if the Zimbabwean government fails to pay back those loans, they've also given money for the airport. If the Zimbabwean government fails to pay back those loans, then what will happen is China will take those things. And Wange, I think, is going to be the first. That is what we're going to see here. Wange is going to be the first to be taken by the Chinese. And ED has failed to deal with this situation. So that is where we are. And that is the news in the news day. Let me see if the Herald is out for today. But I haven't seen the copy of the Herald today. This morning, I saw the copy of the Sunday of the news day. The news day, that is what I was telling you about here, the story that is running, the news day. The Herald, the latest copy that they have is from yesterday. So you can also go and have a look there. There's not much happening. It's a lot of lies, like Zimbabwe makes gas discovery and so forth. There's gas in material land already. And no one is doing anything about it. Chief Justice says 2 months cap for poor dispute resolution. I talked to you about this, that the Mnangagwa has taken over control of any court case to do the elections. So it's now being run by Mnangagwa. And then the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has made new announcements. I'll talk about this when I talk about the new Reserve Bank governor during the week. There's really not much. There was a graduation at the new university called the University of Manicaland, I think, Manicaland State University. So now we have the Midland State University, Manicaland State University, and we've got the National University of Science and Technology. So those are the key stories that I'm seeing here. And what I will do is tomorrow, Chamisa is supposed to address in Chitungwiza. We're going to be watching very, very closely if Chamisa is going to show up. And we'll see if everything is fine there. I don't think everything is fine. There's something going on, and we'll figure out what it is. Up to this day, no one has still shown me Chamisa on video. There's a lot of tweets and so forth. So tomorrow will be the first time that Chamisa will show up. And remember, there's some key announcement that he's supposed to do. And these key announcements, I'll touch on them tomorrow. Today, we'll just watch if he appears at all. And there's also the rumors that there is going to be an elders meeting in Tanzania. I've looked at the SADC website. I'm not seeing that on the calendar. So as soon as we've got details, I'll give you those details to see what is happening there. But now forget about all these other processes. We need to deal with internal issues. And then the SADC process will take over. Because Chamisa has got a big danger of being superseded by other events internally. Before we even go to the SADC issues, now there is a problem of what is going to happen. If there's dialogue, who's going to be in the dialogue? Who's going to be with Chamisa? These issues have now taken over, and it's a big problem. He has to deal with these issues under what party? And we also have to deal with the governance issues in the CCC. We cannot have no structures. Honestly, there's no way that the new dispensation of Chamisa will make sense if he's just alone. So we need to deal with this issue of structures. So we need to now start questioning Chamisa and quizzing him to deal with these internal issues, and we get this finished so that whatever government you get after ED is not a similar problem that we have now. So when ED and his problems go away, you don't want to create new problems. So this is why I'm saying it's an issue. Talking of dialogue, Sengizo is most likely going to be here. I've asked Sengizo to come here next week. We're going to talk to him. I've asked the guys who are dealing with Sengizo if we can have a chat with him. Then you guys can get to ask him questions here, and let's see what happens. So thank you very much for watching here. I don't have much more. This is the news that is there in Zimbabwe. 3 key stories. Zimbabwe has started a new country, URD. That is very, very interesting. Mtuli Ngcobo has reversed his hikes that he announced in the budget, but the budget has already been approved. So I don't know how it's going to happen. And obviously, Zimbabwe has lost Wange. It's going to lose Wange to the Chinese because they failed to pay the money that they're supposed to pay, the loans that they're supposed to pay. They failed to pay them. They owe multiple suppliers money, which is about 50 million US dollars at the moment. They were owing 200 million. They've managed to pay 200 million, and now they owe about 50 million. When we talk of million in rands, we're basically talking of almost 4 billion rands. One company is owing 4 billion rands. Those are massive figures. And this has got a massive impact on our electricity supply. So the Chinese are most likely to take over there and own Wange. And you eventually end up with no electricity or buying all your electricity from the Chinese. So this is it. Very, very interesting. And as I said, we're going to be looking for the new president or prime minister of URD, so that we see if things are going to work out here for us. And this approach that has been taken from a new country is very, very interesting. So I hope we manage to get hold of this guy. Thank you very much, everybody. And I'll be back again later tonight if there's any new developments, or tomorrow morning if there's nothing. Thank you very much. And